24-hour deadline makes the whole thing just makes no sense. I said last week what I believe now more than ever. The war's over, okay? I said it last week after the president's address that made it plain there is no regime change plan. The president keeps saying it. I'm not here to advocate for how to change the regime. We all know the regime is toxic, and the people of Iran deserve self-determination. But if the president believed it, then there'd be regime change. And he has said there will be no such change. Therefore, this is over. There is nothing more that is positive that can come out of this for America or for the people of Iran. This is about getting out and figuring out what it takes to reopen the strait, which just got more complicated. Did you hear? I'll tell you. Again, it's over because there is nothing better that can happen. All right? The proof of that premise is what has transpired since the speech last week. Since that speech, Iran shot down one of our fighter jets. One of the airmen nearly got captured. And the administration wants to celebrate like they're the heroes for reclaiming and rescuing this guy. He's the hero. God forbid, had Iran gotten their hands on this guy, then what? We struck Iran's top university, yes, another school, and once again, the administration all but ignored it. The IDF hit one of Iran's largest energy sites, and there was this retaliation from the regime that has no more weapons, and yet found a way to hit energy and water sites in Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE. The president then said, sorry, the IDF won't do that again. He then admitted casually, I think the Kurds may have stolen all the weapons that we gave them against the regime. Really? And then on Easter, he posted this. If Iran doesn't open the effing strait by 8 p.m. tomorrow night, there'll be nothing like it. We're all wrapped up, and you see it for yourself. You know what it is. Praise be Allah, he says. And today, the president made sure we know he means it.
The entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated by 12 o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock. And it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen.
Then why are you talking about it? Who told our president that plunging the people of Iran into an even worse hellscape than what they're facing now is a good move? Who told him that's the best way to hurt the regime? The initial promise from Trump was to have the Iranians' backs. Now he may bomb them into deeper desperation and then leave them at the mercy of murderers. This war is costing us $1 billion a day. You know now what that money could be doing at home. And it's being done to not remove the regime, bomb the place into complete desuetude, and leave the people there to live in it. $1 billion a day, and he looked you straight in the face and said, look, can't do daycare. States have to do it. We have to focus on keeping us safe. I wonder what he meant by that. Oh, a record 40% increase to the Pentagon budget. $1.5 trillion. And to balance it out, cutting pretty much something from everywhere else. Healthcare, housing programs for the needy, veterans, their home assistance, mortgage assistance programs. Now, unless the president and or his sons are betting on Polymarket that there's going to be a record win for Democrats in the midterms, this makes no sense. And don't look at me like, you know you wouldn't be surprised to find out that they were placing bets, right? Let's be honest. You would not be surprised. It'd be like a half-a-day story. And why do I say that? Well, because the story of somebody with some kind of information making $1 billion on an oil bet. Got what? An hour? Look, there's no way Americans want more for military and less for everything else. They want America fixed, not to make America fix everywhere else through a military that we finance here while people are drowning. And yet, reports say the U.S. and Israel are stepping up attacks on economic targets to ensure that Iran's recovery from the war is long and painful. But again, show we're serious. Painful to whom? Are we going to wind up paying it? That's what the regime says. Their latest demand is no more sanctions of any kind and a $2 million toll on any ship through the Strait to pay for whatever damage the U.S. and the IDF caused. I don't see how bombing what the Iranian people need to survive makes sense. I can't believe this is the best idea. This is the best plan. And I don't understand it in part because the president certainly hasn't explained it. Open the strait and get out of there without crushing the people you leave behind. It is literally the least we can do. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.